Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything in between, welcome back at Your Gaming, and we are looking at Falcon 4.0 BMS mod. It's an old game, it's from the 90s, so maybe there are viewers who weren't even born by a long shot then when this game came out. However, the game is very modded, it has a huge community that supports the game. They keep making the updates for the mod, and the mod makes the game look pretty good looking, especially if you think about the age when it came out. The thing is, they don't really make games like this anymore. Sure, there's DCS, but they are very few in numbers these days. Back then, we had a lot of simulators like this coming out. However, these games were also very hard to play. And with that comes that it's not for everyone, and I am one of those people who isn't very smart with all those buttons and learning how to fly a plane. So fellow YouTuber called GhostDog688, you might know him. He has a great channel where he does a lot of simulators like Falcon 4.0 and Steel Beasts and things like that. You might have seen him in the Code movie I did before, or at Maximus's channel. He's also part of the Legion, and he was so kind enough to give me a training. So this video is about that. I'm learning how to fly this game, and hopefully it will teach you all as well something how to start up an F-16, fly around and stuff like that. However, some things went wrong, didn't work properly, it wasn't a bug, but you will find that out in this video. I hope you all like it, and let me know in the comments what you thought of it. And once again, many thanks to Ghost Dog for teaching me this and being so patient. Anyway, let's get started, and thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.
There you are. Now you're marked down as Second Lieutenant Joe Pilot. If you want to change that, click on the button that's labelled Logbook. Type in your own call sign and name as per preference. I have my one in there, for example.
Yours is Douglas Tyler.
That's me.
Is that your real name?
Yep.
Sorry, you were cut away.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Oh.
Of course, using your own name is completely optional. It doesn't change anything.
I'm fine with it.
It's a nice little bit of immersion when you're playing a single player as well, right?
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so what you'll do next is you're in the right place, obviously, with there only being one flight available. You'll see in the right-hand corner, above a picture of a sun covered in clouds, a little square with a little square a little like box thing called data transfer cartridge.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. Now, the F-16 is a product of the 70s, remember?
Mm-hmm.
How you tell the F-16 on the ground where to fly, its waypoints, data like what channel to be monitoring on the radio and things like that, is handled by a data cartridge, which is basically a really small VHS tape.
Okay.
In real life, you as the pilot take the tape, put it into the side of into a part in the cockpit and flap it down, and then using the NFDs once the plane started, which we'll be doing, you load the tape. The tape then reads all this stuff and throws it into the computer for you.
Cool.
We're going to set that tape up today. Now, the flight profile is already set because it's currently selected in the game. You're going to go down to the button that's labelled Comms.
Let's see. Comms.
So click data cartridge and hit the button that says Comms.
Oh, the cartridges. Yes. Then.
Yes. You'll see it says band UHF.
Yeah.
And it'll probably say preset number 1.
Preset is 0 with me.
Oh, 0. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Use the left and right arrow keys. Go along to number 15 for me.
15.
Yep. And then click the button that says Set Tower, and it'll now say Osan Airbase.
Okay. Done.
Okay. Hit the little button that says Save.
Yeah.
Then change the band from UHF to VHF. And
Okay.
go along to preset number 1 and tick the little green box that says default.
Go into number 1 and then tick box default. Okay.
Yes, so it's now green. And because I'm a derp and I forgot, go ahead and go back to the UHF channel, go along to set number 15 and select and make sure that one is set as default as well.
Ah, okay.
What we just done is we told the data cartridge that once it's loaded, channel 15 will be monitoring the tower.
Do I sorry. Do I need to set it
go
as tower again, or just hit
No.
default?
You
Okay.
can just save. You can just hit save.
Okay.
You'll need to set it as the tower if you hit the reset button or anything like that.
Ah, okay.
Okay, because the reset basically has a standardized set of frequencies. Now, in the game, channels 1 through 12 are reserved for AI flights and other things that happen in the game. Channel 13 is a guard frequency, which you don't ever want to mess with if you're playing multiplayer, because everyone can hear you on that. That's like your emergency. Channel 14 is used sometimes by some flying squadrons, so my default is always channel 15. But the other option is modes. You can there are some defaults there, so I'll not let you play around with them too much. But basically, this controls what options you have on the HUD available to you just when you start the bird up, without you having to manually go in and set these things up every single time you start the F-16 up. And EWS dictates how many chaff flares you'll throw once you fire a certain button in the cockpit. You don't need to mess with that right now because we're just going to take off and land.
Okay. Yeah.
So, basically, it's quite simple. We're going to take off out to the east, follow steer points 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then land at steer point 9 again. Basically, we're just going to do a lap of the area around us.
Cool.
Okay. Once you're ready, we're going to hit the button that says take off, and then it says ramp start.
Ramp start? Okay.
What a ramp start is you're starting in the F-16 on the presumption of you'll see the timer counts down pretty rapidly now.
Yeah.
What's happening is every player in the server is currently looking at this screen, so it advances the time to T-minus 20 minutes, which is the time at which point you'll be given the loading screen and thrown into a cold, dead F-16 that we will bring to life.
Awesome.
Now, I will give you as much or as little explanation for all the buttons as you feel that you need. So if you want to know more, just ask. It's not a problem.
Yeah, will do.
I'll do my best to answer that. But basically, the simple principles behind starting up the F-16 is get the engine power, get the engine fuel, start it up, and then and then get the navigational system working. Then you're going to get things like MFDs and HUDs and all that sort of stuff working as well. So the basic premise is you start with the big stuff like your engine,
yeah,
and your ability to fly and electrical power. Then you start with the ability to know where you're going, navigation, and then you finish that up with making the plane mission capable, getting the weapons ready, getting the plan ready, and then being able to talk to each other on the radio and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
At that point in time, you're ready to take off and do whatever you got to do.
Awesome. Oh, you got some company over there?
Not exactly.
Oh.
I'm just making some changes.
I thought I heard a dog on the background.
Oh, you probably do. She's sitting on my lap. She's there every time I'm sitting recording, because it's always, whenever I'm recording, the missus is out the house, she's working or whatever, so it's always just me and her at the time. So she'll sit on my lap and get right in my way every time I want to fly.
There we go.
I hear you jumping at the pit there. I can hear that in the background. I'll be just a moment or two behind that probably, because I have a potato computer at times. No, in all honesty, you'll usually find the server or so whoever is providing the most data usually goes in last, because
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, they've got to handle all the things that you're doing, plus all the things that they have to do for their own computer as well. They've got a little more work to do. Also, my computer is always just really weird.
I think you jumped into your plane because it was bouncing up and down.
Yeah, you can hear that at times, and you can see it as well. Okay, so let me find out where you are first of all, so I can see.
To your left.
Scene. Right. Okay. Cool. So we begin in a cold dead F-16. Let's fix that. So down and to your left, where you have your throttle.
Yeah.
You'll see a button that says elect, which is set to battery or main power. Go ahead and throw that all the way forward to the main power switch.
Let's see. I don't have track IR, so I'm a bit slower with looking around.
That's no problem. Do you know where the throttle is?
Yes, on the left-hand side. With
yes. Below the throttle, to the left slightly, you'll see a switch that's labelled ELEC, elect. And it's got 3 positions: off, battery, and main power. Throw that all the way to main power. To the left of that, and slightly high, out to the wing, you've got another one that says engine feed, or ENG feed. Set that to the normal position by left-clicking it once.
Can you repeat that again? Because I'm writing as well at the same time.
Oh, okay, no problem. So, back and to the left of that, there's a switch that's labelled fuel feed, or engine feed rather.
Let's see. To the left of the...
Go from the electrical switch, the one you just threw.
Yeah?
Go further back towards the back of the ship, and then out to the wing one. You'll see a rotary dial that's labelled engine feed. It's got off, norm, aft, and forward.
Let's see. So many buttons.
I know. Okay, we'll try another one.
Oh, I see fuel. Was that the...
Fuel, yes. Yeah. So that's the panel. That's that's the fuel panel.
Okay.
There's one big rotary dial. I think it's...
Oh, yeah, I see it.
And it's currently set to the off position. You need to set that to normal.
Yeah, just one...
Left click round.
Yeah.
Okay. What you've just done there is you've given the plane power. It's now running on its own power. And you have told it to pump... The F-16 has 2 fuel pumps, a forward one and an aft one.
Yeah.
You hear them called A and B as well. They're the same thing. The normal position is to draw fuel from both tanks.
Okay.
You'd only really change forward or aft if you had damage in one, or if one of them wasn't working, or if there was a leak in one and you had too much fuel in one side and not in the other, because obviously that would make the plane unbalanced. That's not good either.
Yeah.
So we're now in a position where we can start the bird up. So in front of the throttle, you'll see a label that says jet fuel, and there's a light that says run, and then there's one that says start 1, start 2, and off.
Yeah, I see it.
Right click the start 2 button.
Right click to start 2?
Yep, right click to start 2.
Ah, okay. That's like in DCS, left up, right down.
Most of the time, yeah. You're going to hear it doing its thing. Now, do you know where the RPM gauge is in the F-16? Right-hand MFD, just to the right of that, there are 4 dials. From the top, it's oil, and it's nozzle position, then it's RPM %, and then it's FTIT, which is turbine temperature. RPM % should hold steady once it climbs up to about the 20% mark. Then, when it does, press Alt and I for India on your keyboard and push the throttle forward.
Oh yeah, it's at 20% and Alt I.
Alt I.
Yeah.
Push the throttle forward, press Alt I.
Oh. It says chokes in place.
Yeah, that's fine. Alt I. With the throttle forward, it'll change to 30, and it'll start checking over to 40.
The
RPM.
There is when I press Alt I,
you hear a click.
Yeah, and something saying sec, and then it goes off again.
That's okay. That's no problem. Has the RPM gauge gone up beyond 20%?
No.
Okay, press the throttle forward, press Alt-I again.
Okay, pressing it forward, Alt-I.
You'll hear the jets coming up.
It's going up now.
Okay, now pull the throttle back to the idle position.
That's just all the way back, right?
Just all the way back to no throttle. Cut the throttle in your plate on your stick, or wherever it is, and the throttle will slowly continue climbing for about. It'll stay about the 70%, about 6 o'clock on the dial.
Let's see, it's climbing up to 70 right now.
Yep, and if you've got the throttle all the way back, it'll stay there.
Yeah.
Okay, great. It's getting pretty loud in here. Let's close the canopy. So you will see. Do you want the switch or do you want the button combination?
What's
do you want to know how to do it on the keyboard, or do you want to do it with the buttons?
I guess either is fine.
Okay, press left control and C for Charlie, and you'll see your canopy coming down.
Ah, nice.
Now you can hear yourself think.
Ah, great. And where was it on the panel?
There's a big yellow handle leftwards of in front of the throttle, in front of all those switches you pulled.
Oh yeah.
Just on the outside wall, and just on the edge of that. It's not actually the yellow's handle. It's because that would be obviously in the way of other switches. It's right on the wall next to it. There's a part that you can click to open or close the canopy.
Oh yeah, it gets green when I hover my mouse on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So the next thing we need to do is we need to start powering up the avionics. We're going to do this by looking all the way back to the right where your person's elbow would be.
Yeah.
And you'll see there's a bunch of switches that says avionics power.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, the big rotary dial, left click it once, and then you've set the INS align to normal.
INS 9. To the SDR. Oh wait, norm. Yeah, it's on norm.
To the norms. To the norm position. Then you've got another bunch of switches surrounding it: MMC, ST state, MFD, UFC, GPSDL. Turn them all to the on position.
They are on.
Okay. To the left of that, there's a big armrest and just behind the armrest is a rotary dial. You might not see it with your camera.
Yeah, it's hidden behind it. It says temp auto. Is that the one?
Temp auto. Yes. Just behind that, closer to the wing, there's another rotary dial which you can't see, but you'll find it with the mouse. Left click it once, and that's set the air source to normal.
Okay, pressed it once.
Okay, so what we've just done there in sequence there is we first of all set the inertial navigational system to align under normal conditions, which a normal condition is you standing still on the runway.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know what the inertial navigation system is?
The what?
Do you know what an INS or an inertial navigation system is?
No, I'm really a noob with these things.
That's okay, right. So bear in mind, this is made in the 70s. They didn't have GPS, although they've added that in recently. How did planes back then know where they were to any real degree of accuracy?
I guess comparing to the stars or the sun, I guess.
Well, you could do that, but the problem with that is it's not very good if you're rolling around in a fighter plane, right?
True.
Okay. If you're turning and you're upside down, rolling around inverted, you can't see the stars during the day, and you can't see the sun and the clouds, so that's not very good. So what they came up with instead is the inertial navigation system. There are the system is basically 4 gyroscopes, or 3. One for pitch, one for roll, one for yaw. Takes some time for it to spin up and figure itself out, but once it does, it is like the accelerometer in your iPhone. It knows exactly which way you're turning, exactly which way you're rolling, and any change in acceleration. If you know how fast you've moved, if you take an initial position, say your point, this bit where you're parked right here, and you can tell, and the computer can track every roll, every pitch, every yaw, every change in velocity, every change in altitude, then it can tell you where you are for any period of time, right?
Yeah.
Very clever. Now, the INS needs to align. It needs some time to spin up to speed and get a baseline figure of what is 0 miles per hour at 0 altitude. So some of them are faster than others. Modern ones can spool up in less than 2 minutes. This one takes a bit more time. So you'll see on the front of your cockpit, just slightly to the right, is a little digital readout. It says INS and it's got a number. It says RDY and lat long, S alt and T heading and GS are all black.
Let's see. Is that with the digital letters on it, or?
Yeah, you've got like you know where your heads-up display should be, but it's not powered on at the moment.
Yeah.
Right, down and to the right of that slightly is a smaller display with like 5 lines of text.
Yeah, INS, LAT, LNG, SALT, and
Okay.
SDG.
That little display is called the DED, or the Data Entry Display. This is the 70s, so think of this as the monitor for your little computer.
Okay.
Okay, it can display 5 lines of text, and the INS, and what it's now reporting is that your INS is marks out of numbers, basically. What you want is the left number really, really high, and the right hand number really, really low.
Okay.
The right hand, I don't remember exactly what the left hand number represents, but the right hand number is how accurate to within a nautical mile the INS is. So you want that down to 1.0 or less. And the INS can go anywhere up to 20.0 on the left hand for degrees of accuracy. Basically, once we get marks out of 10 for that, for example, my one now is blinking ready at 4.1 and 0.8.
Mine is at 4.1, 0.8 as well, and it says
it's blinking,
ready.
It's blinking with the ready sign.
Yeah.
What you've now been told is that your INS is good enough to tell you where you are.
Okay.
Okay, it's assisted in great hands nowadays by GPS, but the GPS can be jammed, which is why military planes still use INS.
Okay.
Go back to that wheel that says INS norm, left click it once, and now you've set it to nav. What you've just done there is you've told the INS system that we'll take what we've got as a good alignment and we're going to use that to navigate. And it fills in all the other things like latitude, longitude, altitude, your heading, and your ground speed, which of course is 0 at the moment.
Let's see what happened. Okay, I pressed it.
Yep, INS to nav, and if you look at the front, you'll now see your DED has some new numbers filled in, but the INS isn't changing up or going down either. It's what we want.
Yeah, my INS went to 5.2 and the other is still 0.8.
That's fine. So that means you've got a slightly more accurate INS than I do, because mine's is at 4.6. But either way, this plane knows where it is in the world to within 0.8 of a mile.
Okay.
Okay. If you were to lose that alignment, for example, if the INS was to fail or anything like that, that INS would read out a higher number, and obviously the higher the number, the bigger the chance that your positioning is wrong. Now, the other thing we need to do is, exactly, you want to know where you are so you can get back to base. Fortunately, for a mission duration, as long as we have, we're not going to have that problem. So, what we need to do nowadays is we need to we need to start powering some avionics on again. So, if you look down to your right, you'll see the control stick.
Yeah.
And down and to the right of that, there's a row of like 12 switches and 6 or 7 dials and stuff like that in front of it.
Yeah.
The front 4 are left hardpoint, right hardpoint, FCR, and radar altimeter. Left click them all once.
Which one she said?
Just right next to the control stick is the first row of 4 switches.
Yeah, the grey ones, correct?
The grey ones, not the red ones, the grey ones, yeah.
Okay.
Left click them all once. So you're turning on left and right hardpoints, you're turning on the FCR, and you're setting the radar altimeter to standby.
Yeah, done.
Now, I believe I explained this in Maximus's video, but give me your 3 guesses why we wouldn't turn on the radar altimeter while we're still on the ground.
Because then you probably mess up where you are from the ground or something.
Not exactly.
Oh.
The radar altimeter works by putting out a high frequency microwave radio beam directly down from the aircraft to the ground and measures the bounce, and from that it can say, okay, you are this far from the ground.
Ah, okay.
Let's not put high frequency radio emissions when we're this close to the ground, because they'll reflect back from the concrete, nuke the ground crew and or your testicles.
Ouch.
Yeah, not for now, not now, but in 10 years or so, cancer can be a real bitch.
Yeah.
So let's not do that.
No.
Okay. Next, we'll turn on the heads-up display. So, in front, if you look straight front, where the heads-up display is supposed to be,
Yeah.
you'll see a little display, a little sort of a number pad and things like that. Under that, there are 4 wheels. Top
Yeah.
left one should be left-clicked until it gets bright enough that you can see it and you're comfortable with it. You can also use your mouse wheel if you want.
Or...
Yep, the symbol SYM symbols.
Yeah.
And you're controlling the brightness of the heads-up display. Some people like it ever so slightly faint, so they can still see through it. Some people like it quite solid. It's complete personal taste.
Okay, it's on.
Okay, great. And we're going to turn on the radios now so we can speak to people. How about that?
Nice.
So, down to the left where your throttles were,
Yeah.
there is a row of switch. There's a row of wheels that says COM1 and COM2.
Yeah.
Go ahead and left-click them and turn them all the way around. Now, nothing's going to happen yet, but what that's basically done is
Yeah.
that's turned on your radios.
Cool. So we can listen to some music. Nice.
Above those two, there's another rotary dial that says main both ADF.
Yeah.
Go ahead and set it to both.
Yeah, done.
Okay. Now we're currently using the backup radio and it's listening to channel 6. You can see it says Chan 6 at the top there.
Yeah.
Now we could take that little dial that's all on its own up there and roll that around to channel 15.
The upper right one, or?
See just up and to the right there, and you'll see it says channel 15 if you want to change it to that.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, that'll work just fine, but hey, we're fighter pilots, we're lazy motherfuckers, we want the computer to do it for us. So, look a little further back, okay, just back to where we were with the engine feed. Can you remember that switch?
Yeah, engine feed.
Yep.
Yeah, all the way just
It says,
behind your elbow, right? Or...
yeah, right. Just below that, there's a button that says Backup CNI UFC.
Let's see, backup.
Just below and to the right of that engine feed dial.
Oh yeah, backup CNC UFC.
Set it to UFC. Now, in an F-16, UFC does not stand for Ultimate Fighting Championship.
That?
It stands for the upfront controller, which is guess what that is?
That's where we just were.
It's the controller that's up front. So it's that number pad where you were just messing around with the brightness for your heads-up display.
Yeah.
And you'll see it says COM1, COM2 on all these other buttons at the top.
Yeah.
We've just passed command of the backup radio to this controller up front, which is much easier for us to be able to see where we're flying so we don't crash into mountain while fiddling with the radio.
Ah, sweet.
So COM1 is the UHF, COM2 is the VHF. We're not going to, but remember, we're fighter pilots, we're super lazy.
Yeah.
We don't need to mess around with the COM1 and COM2 switches and fiddle with numbers anymore, because remember, we programmed our data cartridge.
Why do we have all these buttons then?
Because backups are awesome in a military plane, and because you might not, and because trust me, after a while you will not want to listen to the tower. You'll want to listen to your own channel.
Ah, true.
So we're going to press the DTE button, and you'll have MFDs by now. The right hand MFD should go ahead and click the button that says DTE.
Let's see. Where do I see it?
So right hand MFD.
Sorry, I'm looking at the.
Right hand monitor, the little screen on the right hand side. That's the multifunction display.
Yeah.
You'll see a button that's labeled DTE. It might be on your left side instead.
The text is really hard to read from my point
It's
of
on the
view.
You can zoom in if you use your mouse wheel and
Oh,
on an
cool.
area.
And then.
But you'll see the button that says DTE. It's in the bottom corner.
Yeah, it's the second one on the left.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and press that. and you'll see a button that says, MPD, COM, INV, PROF, MSMED, all this sort of garbage on here.
Yeah.
But at the very top, there's a very simple button that says load.
Yeah.
Do it. And you'll see some white
Oh, yeah.
text going through all the lines. And what that's done is it's taken all your presets, all your data, all that stuff you programmed earlier, like the flight plan and everything else, and thrown it into the plane for you.
Nice.
And like I said, because hey, like I said, we're fighter pilots, we're lazy, we want the technology to do it for us.
Yeah.
So I don't have to fiddle around with the backup radio. I don't even have to fiddle around with the upfront controller. I just hit the button that says load my tape.
Yeah.
And then instead of listening to AC/DC, I get to talk to the ATC. Right. Okay. Cool. So it would be a good idea as well, with this being a combat plane, to make sure we're not being scanned by enemy radar.
Cowboy 1-1, expedite departure. Cowboy 1-2, expedite departure.
Oh, shut up, lady. So just
Sorry.
look just above the radio. You'll see a row of switches that are all blank and dead at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
The red ones, you mean, or?
Yep, the red ones. The one that says RWR, Jammer, MWS. Go ahead and left click and turn all of them on. And then 1 and 2, turn them on. And then chaff and flare, turn them on.
Okay, so I put on the RWR.
Yep, Jammer, MWS, all of them to the on position.
Okay, and then the 1 and 2.
1 and 2, and then CH and FL, chaff and flare.
Yeah, they are on.
And then we're going to left click the little rotary dial below flares 1, 2, 3 times to semi.
Cowboy 1-1, is there a problem?
Shut up.
Yeah, you're talking
Cowboy
to me.
1-2, is there a problem?
We're past our flight window because I'm explaining the starter rather than letting you do it. That's what it is.
Yeah, I said it to semi.
That's fine. To the left of that, there's four boxes.
Yeah.
Click the bottom right one for power, and you'll hear noises. Or you will in a moment.
System power.
Yep. And then if you look up and to the left of the upfront controller, you'll see what looks like a crosshair with an eye in the middle.
Let's see. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's your RWR counting up.
Okay.
The last thing we need to do is clear a few flaws. So you'll see just next to the radio a yellow and black diamond lever.
Yellow and diamond.
Just between the radio and your seat.
Oh, 1 moment. For some reason, my
Cowboy 1-1, is there a problem?
Okay.
Cowboy 1-2, is there a problem?
You can repeat that again? Next to the
Okay,
radio?
you'll see next to the radio, in between the radio and where the seat would be, you'll see a yellow bar with black diamonds on it.
Yeah, the ejection control.
Yep, go ahead and flip that down.
It's down.
Okay, you've just armed your ejector seat, because it would be very embarrassing if you accidentally ejected while you were in. So they give you the final control on setting the ejector seat.
Okay.
Last but not least, on the right-hand panel, you'll see the FCR is probably the only thing on the left-hand panel at the moment. Take one of those empty spaces next to the FCR along the bottom there, and just press it once, and it'll say blank.
Let's see.
Left-hand MFD, you've got the button that says FCR, and then there'll be 2 other blank boxes to the right of it, probably.
Sorry, can you repeat
Cowboy
that?
1-1, what is your problem? You are disrupting traffic.
Yeah, what traffic? It's the only 2 of us in the
Cowboy
entire
1-2, is there a problem?
Can you please repeat that again?
Okay, so left-hand MFD,
Left hand MFD.
you've got the left-hand monitor.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
MFD, multifunction display. It does more than one thing.
Yeah.
So the FCR is on probably one of the pages, and there'll be 2 blank spaces next to that.
Yeah, I got test and DTE.
Oh, you've got test. Fantastic. Click the button that says test.
Okay. Then a whole bunch of information shows up, I guess.
Yeah, you've got a whole bunch of error messages. These are all related to the fact that your IFF does not work. It's not modeled in BMS.
Ah.
So we clear those by hitting the clear button and then pressing, and then you can go back to having your FCR again.
Let's see the clear button.
Top of the MFD. With the test button selected, with the test mode, with the test screen selected,
Yeah.
click the button that says clear.
Cowboy 1-1,
Oh,
what
there.
is your problem? You are disrupting traffic.
CLR.
Yeah, I cleared it.
Cowboy 1-2, is
Okay.
there a problem?
Good news, your plane is now ready to fly.
Nice. That is bad news for other people though.
Alright, so first of all, we're going to talk to the tower and tell them to get rid of our chocks so we can take off without having to damage things. So press T on your keyboard for Tango, and you get tower commands.
Yeah.
And imaginably enough, you get a little menu reminding you which button does what. Press 8 on the number pad above the keys for install remove chocks.
Yeah, I done
And
it.
the red box that says chocks are
Uh-oh,
removed.
I'm moving already.
That's okay.
What?
That's perfectly fine. We're going to start taxiing.
Oh, but there is no wheel brake or something?
Yes, there is. It's currently turned on right now. It'll say ARNWS just to the right of your head in a small green text. It's a small green lamp.
Wait,
Remember that?
my controls aren't working.
Cowboy
Try
1-1, is there a
to
problem?
use your rudder.
Cowboy 1-2, what is
trying,
your
but
problem? You are disrupting
It's
traffic.
not working, and it worked before, so...
That's okay. Press
Uh-oh.
Shift and the question mark button, and then try to use your rudder again.
Oh, now it works.
Yep.
Little bit of
We had to turn
off-roading.
on. Yeah, what we had to turn on there was the nose wheel steering. It should have been turned on by default, but apparently it wasn't. So we'll just chalk that one up to experience.
That was
You'll now
shift what?
see
Did you say?
Shift and the question mark. It's a button that's normally on the actual F-16 stick called nose wheel steering.
Okay.
And basically, what it does is it momentarily turns on the ability for your F-16 to be able to turn its front.
I'm going rather fast, by the way, so I need to
That's
brake
okay.
somehow.
Just press K for kilo to step on the brakes.
Killed?
K for kilo.
Oh, kilo. Yeah, it's working. I'm on your left side, by the way.
Okay, that's fine. I'll shift to the right wing. Go ahead and hold down that
Cowboy
brake button.
1-1, what is your problem? You are disrupting traffic.
Holding down
Cowboy
K. Yeah.
1-2, what is your problem? You
Okay.
are disrupting traffic.
Just get to the point where you can see my canopy. That's good enough. Okay, so here's what's going. A lot of things are going to happen very quickly, so I need you to know what buttons to press, when to press them. Okay.
Okay.
So with this button still held down, you'll notice that there is that you can press the G for don't press it now, but you can press the G button to raise or lower your landing gear.
Yeah.
Once we start taking off, it is vitally important you get your landing gear up as soon as you're happy that you're airborne, because there's a very narrow window of opportunity between going fast enough to get off the air, to get into the air, and so fast that your landing gear can get blown off by the aerodynamic force of the plane accelerating.
As soon as I left the tarmac, I will...
As soon as you're wait until you're absolutely sure that you're definitely taking off and you're not sinking back down or anything like that, of course. But basically, what we call that is positive rate of climb.
Cowboy,
Once we're
1-1,
absolutely happy
what is
we've
your
got a
problem?
positive
You are
rate of climb and
disrupting
you're
traffic.
definitely taking off, you're not coming back down.
Cowboy 1-2, what is your
Okay.
problem? You are disrupting traffic.
So first of all, keep your brakes held down and just practice getting the throttle up to about 80% on RPM.
Okay. I have to lower my view a bit so I can see the RPM. It's rising up.
Yep, bring it up to about 80%.
Yeah, it's there.
Great. On the count of 3, take your hands off the controls,
Yeah.
off the gear, off the brake, and once you get up past about 60-70 knots, you'll start seeing speed readout. At the moment, it says 000 on the left-hand side of your HUD.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll start getting numbers about 60-70 knots. That button that you pressed to get rid of your nose wheel steering,
Cowboy
press it again,
1-1,
and
is
you
there a
see a green
problem?
light go out just next to your
Cowboy
HUD.
1-2,
That means you
what is your
can't
problem?
accidentally
You are
steer off the
disrupting
runway while
traffic.
mid takeoff.
Sorry,
Okay,
the tower was talking through you.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so next thing you're going to do is once we get rid of the brakes,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to start going, and you're going to start going pretty quickly.
Yeah.
When you get above about 60-70 knots, you do not want to be able to turn the nose of the plane very much.
Okay.
So you will want, remember that button that you pressed to turn on your nose wheel steering?
Yeah, the shift question mark.
Yep, you're going to press that again once you get up to a speed about 60-70 knots.
Okay.
Okay, so that you don't accidentally steer yourself off the runway at high speed. That would be bad. Okay. Once you get to about 160, 170 knots, gently pull back on the stick.
When?
you should, and as long as you keep yourself no higher than about 10 degrees off the ramp, you will you should find yourself taking
Cowboy
off.
1-1, is there a
Ready?
problem?
At what speed did you say?
Cowboy 1-2, is
About
there a
160,
problem?
170 knots. You should start to see
160.
feeling an effect. Okay.
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. So you'll see the plane move forward. Go ahead and push the throttle all the way up now.
Yeah.
Full fall.
It's
Afterburner, everything. You
Yeah.
kit. Go for it. You might feel the plane drift slightly left or slightly right. You can make small adjustments to the rudder. Just nothing heavy-handed. You're getting to 160 knots now. I'm going to gently pull back on the stick, and
Cowboy
there we go, up in the air.
1-1, resume on navigation.
Landing gear is up.
Cowboy
I see
1-2,
it, well done.
resume on navigation.
Thank you.
There you go. Now, you'll see sort of a circle with an upside-down T in the middle of your HUD. That is your flight path marker. That's where you're going in the next minute, unless you do anything to change it.
Where did you say I see that?
It should be right in the middle of your heads-up display, pretty much the direction of travel, and you'll see it's a sort of a circle with with 2 wings and a tail on it, or an upside-down T.
I
See it?
Not really, unless you mean the one on the right side in the display.
The middle of the heads-up display is it might be slightly off to the right because there's a slight wind.
I don't see an upside down T, no.
Well, you won't see it. It looks like a little plane. It's a circle with 2 lines and a tail, a tail plane on it. Probably be somewhere near a cross at the middle of your F6 on the front on the top of your F6 on your heads-up display.
I have no rate.
Yep. Okay. And just below that, there's a little cross.
No. Oh yeah, the cross. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And just down and to the right of that, you'll see a circle with two stubby little lines left and right of it, and another line above it. So almost like a cross, but with a missing part at the bottom.
No,
See that now?
I don't see that. That's strange.
You should do, because that's your flight path marker, and whenever you turn the plane or move it, it should be moving around with you. Let's come out of the afterburner as well.
Oh. There we go. I pulled it back.
Yep.
Let's see. On my right side, I see AL 300. I guess that's the.
That's an altitude low warning. That's letting you know that when you go below that level, that distance, your radar will kick in.
Yeah. But that's about it. I do see the numbers. I see some square boxes in the lower parts, but no. Did I miss a key or something? Maybe.
I don't think you have, but go ahead and tell me if you can. If you see on the heads-up display numbers like 5, 10, at the ladder, middle of the heads-up display.
I see some numbers on the upper left one. If I pull up the stick, they go to 1.2, 1.3, and if I go down, it goes into the minor numbers.
Right, that's your G-force. That's
Okay.
letting you know how many G's you're pulling. In the middle of that, if you just put the plane level with the horizon, or as close to level as you think you can, you should see a solid horizontal line somewhere on the heads-up display.
Yeah, under the C and on the right side as well.
Okay, that's the artificial horizon. There's a gap in the middle of it,
Yeah.
and if you are not climbing or not sinking either, you should see another piece that moves around, which is the place I'm talking about. It's called the flight path marker.
Negative.
So you've got it. Imagine it's like a little plane. It's got a circle in the middle of it. There's a line going up. There's a small line going up, and then there's 2 lines left and right of the circle. But it's all joined together.
No. It's
Very
not
strange.
there.
Okay, that's fine then. It's not a big
Unless
deal.
I misunderstand something, but if it's on the heads-up display, so the one you look at with
We're
the
only
no
looking at
rate.
the heads-up display, so it's the green display that you're staring at. This tells you where you're flying. It'll give you like a bearing, probably 071 or something like that, in a box.
092 for me, I think.
Okay, that's fine. Just check that for you. That makes sense. You're
If
actually
it's the lower left number at least, right next to a nav.
Ah, no, that's something else.
Oh.
That's fine though. Just to explain what we're seeing then.
Yeah.
In the does it see the button? Do you see does it say nav just above those buttons?
It says nav and 1.0 above it.
That's fine. That's okay. That's perfectly acceptable. And then just above that, you'll see another number. It'll probably be like 0 point something, or it might say 1 point something as well, perhaps.
0.92.
Okay, so I'm actually going slightly faster than you. I need to drop back, but that's fine.
Oh.
Nope, that's fine. That's my fault. I'm probably going too fast.
Oh yeah,
right.
I see you to my left.
Okay, level with that button that says 0.91. You should see like a little mini compass. It'll say like 084 or 091 or something like that.
It should be on the same level, you said?
On the same level as that button that says 0.91 or 0.92 or whatever.
No, I don't see any other numbers there.
Okay, I think I know what we're doing here. Okay, so yeah, I think I know what it is.
Oh, okay.
Remember that row of switches, the white row of switches next to the control stick?
Let's look down. I shouldn't crash, so I'm right
No,
behind
you
you now,
shouldn't.
by
The
the way.
F-16's pretty stable.
On the right side, correct?
Yep, on the right side where the control stick is, there's a row of white. There was a row of white switches that turned
Yeah.
on your radar and stuff. There's 2 red switches as well. One that says ATT/FPM, and it should be set to all the way forward.
Oh, some lights turned on, by the way. Some green lights.
That's me. That's fine.
Okay, can you repeat what I was looking for?
Okay, so there are 2 red switches below that row of 4.
Yeah?
And they've got squares instead of little circles on the buttons.
Yeah?
Okay. I want you to set it so that the HUD, the middle red switch, the one on the right hand side, I suppose, currently has the option of off FPM or ATT/FPM.
Yeah, it's on ATT, but it's blocking anything else from my point of view.
So it's all the way forward.
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing I need you to check then is that the one to the left of that is set in the middle. It'll say WAH.
Yeah, it's set on that.
Okay. Now if you look up, you should see somewhere near the artificial horizon that I showed you how to find before.
Yeah.
You should see in the middle of the HUD, just above, maybe near the top of the HUD because we're going quite fast, but down the center of it, along a break where that artificial horizon is, there should be another little symbol in the middle of it.
Yeah, like a cross.
Us, but with a circle in the side of it, and with the bottom half of the cross missing.
No,
Not the cross, just
not the cross. No, I don't see that what you are mentioning.
huh. That I was just going to explain it. That is the flight path marker. This is what tells you where you're traveling. When you turn the plane, it doesn't quite catch up with you. So I'm going to make a left-hand turn, for example, and you'll see this thing that I'm talking about moving around. If I pull really
see
hard, it drifts behind slightly. If I let go of the stick slightly, it catches up.
No, I don't see anything happening when I do that.
Okay. Well, I just made a fairly hard left turn, so I'm on your left wing, and I'm travelling around back towards the base. Do you want to try keeping up with me there?
Let's see if I can find you.
Don't worry if you can't. I'll show you how to navigate in a few moments, but
I see a little island down there. I lost you.
I'm level with you.
Yep.
I'm gonna just check for you. Yeah, okay, you just fly that heading, and I will catch up with you.
Roger.
Yeah, I see you now.
Do I need to press any buttons on the display after test? Maybe that's something where I
No,
went
no,
wrong.
no. The heads-up display should work no matter. With the settings that we've got set up, as far as I'm aware right now, the heads-up display should be doing what it's told. all I was expecting was a quick explanation of what the flight path marker is, basically how it shows you where you're going.
Yeah.
And you'll have that cross that doesn't ever move on the HUD, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's called the bore sight. That's basically the very front of that's the nose of the plane. That lets you know where you're pointing. Okay.
Okay.
Something that moves a little bit more than that is the flight path marker, and that tells you where your plane is going in terms of direction.
Yeah. And it's not a button on the buttons below it.
No. This isn't a button that you'd press or anything like that. This is always there because it's supposed to show you where you're going. It is probably there. I'm probably just not explaining it properly. The nearest thing I can come up with is, if you can imagine like a little mini F-16 pointed directly at you, you'd have the two wings and the tail. And there'd be a circle in the middle of that instead of all the detail of the F-16 itself.
I think I would have seen it because you said it was pretty much in the middle, and I don't see that either. So
if you're flying straight and level, it should be pretty much in the middle.
Yeah, but nothing is there, so I probably didn't press a certain button or something.
I'm trying to think of what you could have pressed that would stop that, though. That's the thing, because that's like a basic feature of the heads-up display. Everyone's got that. So that's very strange. Not to worry though. I guess we can work without it.
For now.
So yeah, I'm going to catch up with you.
Okay. I think you're behind me, aren't you? If I look at the radar
yes.
to the left. Okay, cool.
You're going to hear an annoying beep every few moments.
Yeah.
This is the data link, and basically every time that beep happens, it's me updating our position. If you look down on the if you make sure your right-hand MFD is set to HSD, you can actually get a basic overview of where we are without the detail of a map. It just gives you kind of, this is our position relative to this location kind of thing.
How do I put it on?
So the right-hand monitor, you see the button that says HSD.
HSD. Oh yeah, it was already on it.
Okay, cool. And you'll see me you'll see a blue like an upside down Y.
Yeah.
In blue. It's labeled 1, and then there's a number below it. It'll probably be 18 or 17 or something.
I don't see a number below it, but I do see a blue thing.
Okay, that blue thing is me.
Okay.
Okay, so I am to your 7 o'clock. Pretty close to you, probably. Depending on how zoomed in you have it, probably about 2 miles. Yeah, I see you.
Yeah, I can see you when I look back, but
you can see me physically, that's okay.
Oh, you're now a bit to my left, if I'm correct.
The number is actually my altitude, so I was above you, and I'm now moving level with you.
I must be doing something wrong as I missed that number.
That's okay. The number's not really relevant. It just lets you know how high that person on the data link is. So, for example, if you lose sight of me, I'm at 8 and you're at Angel. If I'm at 8 and you see the number 8 below it, you know I'm at 8,000 feet, for example.
I do see a number 8 in the upper left corner.
That's the range.
Oh, that's
the range of this. So that's the range of the display. So you've got 3 circles in the middle of the HST. Outer ring is 8 miles.
Okay.
So the middle ring is 4 and the inside ring is 2. So you can then correctly surmise that I'm about 2 miles behind you if you look at the HSD.
Okay.
Roughly. Just went through a cloud and there I am. So go ahead and have a bit of fun with her, try and fly her around a bit.
Okay.
I'm staying with you there, so I'm going to keep you right if things go wrong. Now, I see you pulling a hard right turn there. Remember that G-force meter that we were talking about there, the number in the top left, telling you how many G's you're pulling?
Yeah.
Well, the F-16 is all done electronically, so you will be artificially limited to around about 9 or 10 Gs, but your plane can't sustain that for very long. Look how fast you're now going. Your speed has probably fallen quite considerably after a turn like that.
Let's see. The speed is on the right hand side, correct?
Left-hand side.
Altitude.
The number on the right is your
Altitude.
altitude. So you're probably going below 10,000 feet about now.
It's at 8,000 feet and the number on the left was 525.
Okay. So now that you're level off there, practice doing a snap left turn. So hard left, when you're 90 degrees left, pull back on the stick as hard as you feel like you can without ripping the stick off the desk. And then just watch what happens to your G-force on at the top and
Yeah.
your airspeed. Watch how quickly it falls down. Do not let it go below 180 knots, by the way.
I'm gonna go up first a bit.
Yeah, okay, get a bit more speed. That's get more altitude there, yes. So now when you're climbing up, you can see your altitude increasing.
Yep. And the
But
speed
look how-
lowering.
And the speed lowers because of how fast. Now you can respond to that slightly by just pushing the throttle further forward. If you've got more speed or more afterburner power or whatever.
It's already...
But ultimately, you're going to drop down at some point in time.
Okay, so I'm 17. Okay.
Yeah,
So
okay.
turn 90 degrees and then yank it.
Yep.
all the way.
Caution.
Hard on the stick. Go on, hard. Do it harder. Go on, pull. There we go. Now watch what happens to your speed.
Oh yeah, it drops
It
down
felt
by
like
the
a
hundreds.
rock, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you've just found, what you've just discovered, is the F-16 does accelerate really well, but it loses speed really quickly in a hard turn.
Yeah.
And if you look just at that number above the nav, go ahead and read that number out to me.
Above the nav, it's 7.0 right now.
So you pulled your highest G turn there, probably, and that means that you have pulled 7 Gs maximum. The maximum force that you've pulled on this plane is 7 Gs,
Wow.
and you might have heard the pilot struggling a little bit there.
He was breathing heavy, I guess.
Yep. So what I want you to do now is I want you to put the afterburner, get yourself level flight. I want you to pull all the way forward, get some real good speed coming up, and you'll see it says 0.96, 0.97, 0.98, 0.99, 1.0, something
Okay,
like that.
all the way up. 0.98, 0.99, 1.00.
Right, that's Mach number. You're now supersonic.
Cool.
Okay. So I want you now to maybe not quite as aggressively pull the turn, but I still want you to turn as hard as you can, but try and maintain speed, or as best as you can think you can. So you try not to go below 300 knots.
Okay.
You can drop speed until then.
Oh, it's turning black.
Yep. Keep it going. Keep the pull. You might get some warnings about caution. Keep the pull. That's it.
It's going to 300 now.
Yeah. Okay. Now you just relax the pressure on the stick slightly,
Yeah.
and get your speed back. There you go.
Cool.
You just pulled 9 Gs.
Yeah, 8.5, but that's close.
You can pull harder than that.
Okay.
Go on. Now, in this point, let yourself drop down into the sky a little. Yeah, take the dive. You'll keep your airspeed up a little bit. Now, if you can, while keeping this going,
Altitude.
bounce your
Altitude.
wings slightly, and you'll see vapor coming off the wings. That's how hard you're turning.
Yeah, cool. It's 8.6 now.
Okay.
Yeah, my joystick isn't one of those professional things, so it doesn't go
It's not
fast
about
with
how.
this.
It's all that they do is give you a little bit more. You can do smaller. That's all that they give you. Pulling hard back on the stick is still hard back on the stick.
Altitude. Altitude.
You just went through 10,000 feet. That's why you get an altitude warning. And what you've found out now is that you can dive to keep your airspeed up. Obviously, you have to be aware of how much altitude you trade, because it's hard to get it back
Yeah.
when you're diving and turning like that. Speed is when you're flying a dogfight. Speed is life. If you are losing speed and you need to keep turning, you're going to have to trade some of your altitude to keep that speed going.
Okay.
Two things will happen: you'll keep the speed up, you'll keep the turn going, you'll get around and kill the guy, or you'll run out of speed, stall, and you'll die, or you'll run out of altitude and you'll die. So, just bear in mind. You
Lovely.
want to start an engagement with as much altitude as you think you can get away with.
Yeah.
And you want to finish an engagement as quick as possible so that you can get as much of your altitude back as possible. Because you're going to learn another quick thing, because you've been on your afterburner for quite a long time. Look down at where your RPM gauges were,
Yeah.
and one gauge down and to the right again, you'll see another one that says fuel.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the number at the bottom of the gauge right now for you?
06500.
That's good. I'm at 052, so I've actually used more fuel than you have. You start with £7,200 with assuming you don't put any drop tanks in. And you've just been pulled over by the Alaska State National Guard here.
We are?
Just be in front of you.
Oh, I don't see
Pull
you.
over.
Yeah. Woo woo. You need to use your warning lights, because I don't see it in this fog. I lost you on my radar, though.
That's okay. I'd expect you to have, because I'm now behind you.
Ah, I thought you were in front of me.
No, not anymore. So it's real fun flying the F-16 because it's super stable thanks to the fact you've got a whole bunch of controllers and computers keeping the plane stable.
Nice.
That stick that you're pulling
Yeah?
has as much input in real life. It doesn't actually have anywhere near as much input in real life. Everything is an electrical signal. It goes to the plane, it goes to the rudders and everything electronically. You don't actually have any direct connection from between the joystick and the plane in real life. Everything is done electronically. So when you say, I want to roll right and pull back on the stick, you hand that information to a computer, and the computer goes, I'm going to let this plane go to the right and pull back on the stick.
Okay.
It's called fly-by-wire. You've heard that term before. Now you know what it is.
Huh.
Now let's have some real fun, because these planes can pull much harder turns than we're giving them right now, but we've got drop tanks on. So I want you to press and hold the button that says Control J for Juliet.
Control J.
J for Juliet.
Yeah. Oh.
And if you hold it down, boom, there go the drop tanks.
Oh, I dropped it?
Yep,
Oops.
you were supposed to. Don't worry.
Sorry,
No.
sir. Whoever walks
It's
below
okay,
me.
that's why we did it over water, don't worry.
No, I was above land.
Ah, okay.
Unless you're following
No.
someone else.
Now press the button that says, now press Shift and C for Charlie. Otherwise you'll get this thing that says, Caution, caution.
Yeah, I just pressed it.
Yep. We've just changed the configuration of the aircraft after dropping the tanks, so that it will permit the computer will permit us to pull more Gs, since how we no longer have anything on the wings anymore. So, first of all, when you put the plane into afterburner, you'll notice she comes up to speed much faster, because she's not weighed down by drop tanks, which would have been empty by now anyway. Now, seeing as how I don't want you turning into me, let's try a right-hand turn this time. So, count. So pull. So right hand snaps right and pull.
Whoa, it goes a bit faster than before.
Yep, it does, doesn't she? She loves to turn. And you get to the
9.3. Oh boy.
Hope you practice your your G breathing maneuvers.
Just like a pregnancy, right?
Altitude.
Oh, much worse
Altitude.
than that. The official method that the Navy train is called heck, and you basically say heck really hard over and over again while straining your stomach muscles.
Oh, really?
Let that. Well, the part of stomach muscles that you're strained are very politely worded, of course, but basically you have to pretend like you're taking a massive dump, because those muscles also control blood flow. It can also, if they're properly tightened, restrict blood flow, which is why you understand what happens in it when you're blacking out, right?
Yeah.
You are pushing blood out of your brain from the G-forces.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want that to happen.
You don't want that to happen, because if you go unconscious at 500 miles per hour while diving, you're not going to have a lot of time to recover consciousness, figure out what the hell you're doing, and correct that activity. The G-straining maneuvers, along with the correct equipment, keep blood above your stomach. In other words, it gives you more oxygenated blood in your brain. So now, having explained to you how you're supposed to strain your muscles when you do when you're G-breathing, you now understand why one of the number one concerns that fighter pilots have is hemorrhoids.
Ah.
Because they're straining the same muscles over and over again, constantly under G.
Yeah.
Way more often than you and I normally do, a couple of times a day, perhaps. It's a very real problem, actually, for fighter pilots.
Poor guys. Can't they do that thingy that pregnant women have to do?
No, because the whole point of that is a different thing.
Oh.
If you were to breathe like that, you'd run out of air fast.
No. I mean against hemorrhoids.
Okay.
Altitude.
But once again,
Altitude.
fighter pilots do this, a couple of times a week?
True.
Women tend to only give birth once or twice in their lives, right? Unless you live on the Jeremy Kyle show, in which case it's about 8 times. But even then, that's not more. And even then, that's more. That's less often than a fighter pilot.
True.
So if you look to your right, you'll see the coast, and if you look further out and to your right, you'll see the airbase that we took off from. I think we're probably getting a bit low on fuel with all this messing around with the afterburner. So why don't we try landing?
Okay, I think I see the airport. Oh. No, that's not it.
Look to your right.
Yeah, I'm going towards the land at the moment, so...
Okay. Try a little further to your right, because I'm tracking you on radar and you're currently flying away from the airbase.
Oh. Trying to scan... Maybe I can see it.
Turn to the west.
To the left or west?
Turn west. So take a right turn.
Yeah.
And fly heading 270.
270. Why don't I see those numbers on my screen?
I really don't know. There'll be some sort of setup thing.
Yeah, because I don't see my...
But you have a compass down between your legs, fortunately. So.
Oh, is that how we call it now? Okay. Yeah, it's at the west now. Now I see why you don't want to get rid of all the buttons.
Now you know why having it all up in the heads-up display is much more handy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm flying straight west now.
Yeah, I see you. And if you basically follow the coast,
yeah,
you'll see a hill to the left of the coast.
Yeah.
And between the hill and the coast, just behind it, is our runway. You should see it.
Negative. But I'm probably not looking where I should be looking. To the right of my plane, right?
To the right of your plane, there's a mountain feature.
Maybe I should go higher. Maybe I'm a bit low.
No. You don't want to be going higher. You want to be going to the right. You'll see some hills.
I'm flying towards some mountains right now.
Yes. Look to your right now. You'll see some slightly lower hills.
Yeah.
Okay. Other side of those hills is an airbase.
You know, I did saw it before, but then you had me turn around.
It's okay. You'll see behind those hills. You'll see a large town, just on the coast.
Yeah, I see a city.
Turn towards that.
Okay.
Now,
I really
if
need to get myself some track IR someday.
If you've turned towards the city, from my point of view here, you should see a small diamond somewhere on the ground in front of the city. On your heads-up display. You might have to put the plane slightly into a dive to see the diamond, but it is there.
Well, I'm in the clouds right now, so I can't see anything.
Altitude.
Oh,
Altitude.
Okay. I see a small town right below me and a big city at the coast.
Yep. And in front of
Yeah,
that
I see
city,
it.
you should see the airfield. That's
Yeah.
your airfield. I'm putting flares all over it.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Turn slightly to the left. We're going to set you up with an approach coming from the mountains. 'Cause
Turning
it's
to
much
the
safer.
left.
You'll see a valley to the
Yeah.
left of the runway.
Yeah.
That's going to be where you're going to come in for approach. I'm putting flares around about where you're going to be turning in.
Oh,
You
then I
should see that.
better watch you. Yeah. So I'm gonna stay on the left side so I can turn into the valley
Okay.
in a bit.
So you're a fighter pilot. Do some fighter pilot shit. Turn around, pull hard on the stick, and follow that runway heading in. Don't worry if your speed goes below 300 because we kind of want that to happen this time. Turn, pull.
Yeah, it doesn't turn faster than this with my joystick.
Do it.
Okay, the runway is a bit to
Are
my
you
left.
pointed at the runway now?
Yeah, it's a bit to my left, but
That's okay, we can adjust for that.
okay.
So what I want you to do now is I want you to pull the throttle all the way back because you're probably going
Yeah.
way too fast.
It's all the way back.
Okay. I want you to press the B key.
Yeah, for the air brakes.
Yep. And when the speed goes below 250 knots, I want you to press the G key for your gear.
Okay, I should adjust myself a little bit so I probably
Yep.
land on the track. And the crosshair should be on the...
Use the cross. Yeah, we'll work with the crosshair for now. But basically, just throttle all the way
Yeah.
back.
It's
Yep,
all the way
that's
back.
it.
Oh boy.
You go 250 knots. Go ahead and.
I'm
chuck
still
in.
at 366. Oh,
That's okay. Just.
going way
Double-
too fast.
I would have thought we would have bled more speed off doing that. That's
I'm
okay.
gonna make a...
Just go around. Go around. So press B to get the boards back in.
Yeah. Gonna...
Put some throttle back in. I have no choice. I am coming in because I'm about to run it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a bit deeper into the valley and then I'm gonna try again.
Yep, absolutely.
I think I should also adjust the sensitivity of my joystick a bit better.
Might be an idea.
Because my plane goes left and right, left and right. I've set it up for an helicopter, I believe. Okay.
Okay.
Cowboy, 1-1. Next time, get clearance before landing.
You bad boy.
Don't make me do a Maximus and come back up there with a refueled plane and gun that fucking town and that thing into the ground. Alright, I'm gonna watch your approach now. That way I can help you. Right, that looks like a pretty good approach actually, so cut the throttle, boards out, turn.
Boards out, turning.
Turn, pull on the stick. There, watch that speed come off, that's what we want. There we go, that's good.
Ah, now it's a bit to my right. Okay,
That's
it's at
fine.
300
Just-
now. 330, 320.
Okay. Pull the boards back in.
Boards are back in.
We'll call that good for now, because that'll get you to a decent speed.
295. And at 250 I had to lower my gear, right?
250, you can go to 260 as long as you're definitely coming down.
Okay. Bit more control over my plane this time when I don't go that fast. Guess I should
You don't.
a bit to the right and then turn
Yep.
in a bit more.
Yep, adjust right so that you drift. Allow yourself to drift right, so that you'll have a good line up for the left.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the rudder. Just Just stick and throttle this. Okay, what's your speed at?
289.
Okay, pull the boards back out again. Pull up on the stick slightly. Level out. Get more speed coming off if you're level.
Yeah. Okay, it's dropping faster now. Okay.
Yep. What's your speed?
Easy. 260.
Okay, gear it out. Your plane's going to pitch down slightly because
Yeah.
you've got all this drag at the bottom of your plane
should
suddenly.
Should I do the brakes away again? Or?
Keep the boards where they are. That's fine. They're good at the moment. When you get to about 170, 180 knots, definitely pull your boards in if you haven't made crossed the
180.
Okay, boards in.
Boards in. Oh boy.
Throttle it. You can put a little throttle on now to keep the airspeed. Don't let it go below 150. Slight adjustments on the throttle. There you go. Okay.
Oh boy.
Looking slightly right. Slight adjust left. Slight adjust left.
Yeah, trying.
That's good. That's fine. Just right now. That's fine. Now gently hold the throttle back. Pitch up slightly. Slightly. There you go.
Oh boy.
You're done. Cut the throttle.
Yeah, it's cut down and it...
Cowboy,
Hold
1-2.
down K for
Next
kilo.
time, wait your
Yeah.
turn.
Brakes.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. That's fine. That's what you wanted.
The nose was
Okay.
still up. Okay.
Turn on the nose wheel steering. Turn on the
Oh,
nose
yeah.
wheel steering.
Shift question mark. Okay.
Okay. Get the speed down to somewhere where it says 0, because that means you're traveling under 60
It's
knots.
000.
That's fine. Now just gently on the brakes. Gently on the brakes. Get yourself to a point where you feel comfortable traveling at that speed and turning.
Okay. I'm still holding down K. Okay.
Cowboy, 1-2. Taxi clear of the runway.
So I'm moving towards you, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of space for you. Just go around the outside of me.
Yeah.
And make a turn. Use the rudder keys for this. There you have it.
Turn a bit more.
Yep.
Let's see where you are compared to me.
I am all the way around past you. That's fine though. Because I really shouldn't be stopped here. It's just I ran out of fuel.
Oh, I thought I was parking right next to you.
And if you want, we're the only two F-16s in the entirety of Korea right now because the
And there we go.
Alright. There we go. Press T to put the and then A again to get the chocks put on.
T8.
There you are. Chocks
Yeah.
in place.
Nice.
Press Alt and I for India to cut the throttle idle.
Okay.
Press Control C to open up the canopy. And now go get yourself a cup of coffee. You just took off and landed an F-16.
Yay.
Alright,
I
escape.
survived.
And